pages of all time, the definitive guide ranked by category. And at the end, I'll share my own 404 that I recently launched and how I built it. But let's start with the GOAT. This is live right now, Wendy's. Here's what happens. Loading. And, whoops. We have a page that comes down, and then there is a game. And the game is special because it's branded, it's nostalgic, it's simple. Let me just start playing. So nothing happens right now, but when I hit the arrow key, boom. And I see Wendy, and it says turn this 404 into a 444. I don't know what that means. I think it's some kind of fast food talk. But if I step over these things, it goes down. So right now the game's super easy. But look in the corner, some tongue or soap. I'm thinking it's tongues. Came down and they're climbing the ladder and coming at me. But they gave me some time to figure out that they were there. And I go around and keep doing this. It's like Pac-Man, but it's branded. The colorings are great. The game is super easy because it's just arrows. It loaded really smooth where it had the skeleton, and then this came in, and then it eventually got harder. Let me show you what happens when I get eaten up. I lose a milkshake. It's amazing. It's a joy. I'm happy I'm here. Happier than if I were ordering a burger. That is overall the best one. Let's look at this one is the best for wittiness. So the page itself, like old WordPress style, and we have a video under the most awkward 404 not found page on the internet. I watched a lot of this video and I did not finish it. It's got to be at least 10 minutes. And this guy is in an empty room and he's just talking awkwardly to the camera. He's like, "Ooh, there's nothing here. What are you doing here? You can stay if you want, but no rush. Yeah, no, it's cool." He's just awkward for a long time in an empty room. I love the symbolism. It's so funny, and it's even got a little search bar and it's usable. So this is by an artist, I believe, Steve Lampert. Really smart, really just smart in using what you got. This is the best for branded 404s. This is from Disney. So let's start from the top. You'll see an animation coming up here. Look over here. See, something's trying to get out. Boom! I don't know who that guy is, but I'm sure he's a Disney character. I'm sure this one is too. It's just really kind of captivating the first time you see it. You know something's happening on the screen, but you don't know what. The heading makes sense. It's nice. It's simple. It's nice. Best branded 404 right there by Disney. This one is, let's see, from Omelette. I'll show you the quick animation again. A little egg crack, boom. This would be the best transition, I would say. The best intro for a 404. Let me do that again. Loading, crack. It's like it's revealing the message that the page isn't found. And then we have a pun. I don't know what Omelette does, but that is obviously like on brand. And the transition there, just really, really solid. I like that a lot. Okay, this is Uno.co. We have a hot dog running, and the tagline says, "You found a 404. You've won a washing machine and a dryer." Not really. And actually, this was different than the last time I went and saw this. So let me reload again. Yep, there's a WTF, something's wrong. Remember those old 404. So they have at least 5 of these messages. The hot dog is running. So for here, I'm going to say this is the best one that is long-term, the best bang for the buck, or the best return on investment in terms of how long you can enjoy this page for, like how long someone probably had to code it. I'm thinking about this graphic. This probably took a lot of time, But once that's on there, it just keeps running infinitely. And then they have a bunch of these little cute sayings, and then they just recycle it. So I'll say this is the most recyclable 404 page, because it's just as good the more I reload it, and that little animation loop does not get old. I love that. It's just a hot dog running. What does that even mean? So, okay, best recyclable 404 goes to uno.co. Okay, here we go. This one is path.blue. What we got here? 404 not found. Heading is always there. Flickr, not great, but we have, it's loading a map. It says this is everyone else, and this is you, like that, this anomaly in the corner. This is like an agency that does data science, I believe, some kind of hard data analytics stuff. So they're including some data, and they're showing, it's branded, it's nice, it's funny, it's unique. I don't love it how they, let's see, they have this link to go here to the full data, and just the little tip I would say is don't send them, this just goes to a data set and you can look at the raw data, but they never got to this page to find raw data about the crime rates in Atlanta, which is I think what this is going on. Yeah, crime rates in Atlanta. That's not why they're there. They're there to look around your site. But the data itself, and having it tie into this pun of why are we showing this data? Because it's a crime, you haven't hired us yet. I love that. I really love that. Smart. So this will be the best. We already had best on brand. Man, this will be a tie. This is tied for best on brand with Disney, I believe. Okay, this is best for artistic statement. This is not a dream. This is not a page. This is not a page. I know this harkens back to some kind of artwork where it's like, this is not a painting or something, right? Someone let me know in the comments what I'm actually thinking of, but it's simple. It's artistic. It's like, what is it then? What am I looking at? A pipe? An app? I don't know. But hey, art. This is art. I love that. I'm guessing he's an artist. Purveyor of impossible dreams. It looks like it. Some kind of thought piece here. So Worry Dream, best artistic 404. Magnet, we have 404, and then Venn diagram on the left it says we broke something. On the right it says you can't type, and in the middle it says 404. So for this one, this is the best. What do you call it when like you're poking fun at someone? The best neg. I think that's the word. The best neg for a 404 is here, because a lot of times people just can't type, and then they do get into a 404. And I like how they're not holding back. A lot of these are like, oh, we're sorry, or oh, we messed up, or we gotta fix something. Please don't. A lot of times it's the users, and I like how they're standing on that. Magnet, best neg 404. Dribble. I don't love this one actually. So this is going to go on my anti 404 because they went through the effort of adding the slider that can change the color, but the way it works is you're sliding and nothing happens, and then it just like reloads the whole thing. And so I feel like that's not a great experience anymore. I feel like users expect more. They want live updates from their CSS. So I like the idea. If it was executed better, I think this would be a home run. And then before I get to mine, don't look at that. I have a couple more. This one, I forget the actual site. This is, I'm going to say the funniest. I've thought about this on walks in the middle of the day. It says, whoops, one of our development team must be punished for this unacceptable failure. And what happens is when you're on this live site, wherever it is, you'll hover over them and then they look more scared. And I think the others like look at them. See if we have that. No, there we go. So see, I hovered over this guy and he's like, oh no, I'm getting fired. And they're like, oh, thank God. Oh, so fun, so funny, so simple. This might be tied for bang for your buck too with the hot dog, because you needed 2 pictures of each person and then just cycle it based on what you're hovering on. Man, it's so good. Someone please find that site. Email Center. I tried emailcenter.com and that wasn't it. So, man, I hope that's still alive. Okay, so those were the best by category, and now I want to show some anti 404s, which, I mean, they spent some time working on it, and it is like kind of technically impressive, but it just does not work for me. This one is GitHub. I have a couple from GitHub. I like how they're using their cat thing, their octopus cat, whatever that is. It's Star Wars themed, so it's like, okay, it's for developers, and it's nerdy and whatever, but there's like, why is a third of it like branded like this, and then this is like all this gray doesn't fit with these colors, and it's just giving you a search bar for GitHub, like everything on GitHub, like, I guess, but I want more out of this for a company that hosts all the code in the world. Like, I feel like this is missing it, but that's better than the 500 page, which, oh man, what bugs me about this is the same thing about the layout. Like, it just looks incongruent, I guess, where the top is like all colored and this is just white, and then the font's really small. And the other thing is, I'm no physicist here, but I know this is proportionally wrong. Why is this thing so massive if you're looking overhead, and then this is like angled weird, and proportionally that doesn't fit with the octopus cat or the canyon here, and this oops is overlaying on like a neon green and a river. Like, it just does not look good. It's not fun to look at. So with the GitHub ones, I wish they put in a little more effort. They did something. It's like better than a blank page, but I don't know, man. I expect more from the people who host all the code. I'm gonna save that. I'm gonna save that one for next. This was a lot of work. This is CarWow, and they created a game. Looks like we sent you the wrong way. Let's guide you back. So you can. Ooh, I thought it was space to start, but either way, it's a real live car game, like the classics. I'm using my arrows to go forward. So it's impressive, but I feel like this was a lot of work, and it doesn't like lead you anywhere or do anything for you in the way that Wendy's did. Wendy's, like, they reaffirmed their brand with the Wendy girl running around and the shakes and the burgers and like the puns, but this is just a car moving, and like, yeah, it's for CarWow, which I think is buying on cars, but there's just not enough there. And then the game just continue, like, there's no end point, whereas like you want to keep leveling up, whereas with the Wendy's one, you just wanted to make the burger and then like actually get back to what you're doing. You could play this game for a while, so for that reason I don't love it. Okay, my last one that I don't love, this is it. Oh, jeez. Hi. This is the Rickroll version of 404 pages. It's a gym. They're like trendy. They're fun. I think they're in London. Like, everyone there, based on their promo videos, is gorgeous. I just don't love the gyrating. It's 7 a.m. right now, and I don't love seeing that. So it's memorable for sure. This too. So let's go to mine. I just made this last night. This is the regular app, and then we go somewhere like 404. The app is called Compass. So we have a heading, Shiver Me Timbers. This isn't part of the app, matey. Go back to your booty. So we have some pirate themes, which I think works with the Compass name, navigating the seas. And we have an image, AI generated, but doesn't feel AI generated. Like, it feels I used a prompt to say like a graphic style image, and so it's a ship in a sort of deserted flat island where it probably shouldn't be. So I like how that's subtle. I like how all the text is committing to that pirate pun. I like I don't know, maybe I'm overthinking this one, but it's like booty means like treasure in pirate talk, right? But it also, you think of your own booty. And I like how it says go back to your booty, like your backside booty. Like, how do you go back to your boot? It doesn't really make sense, but it kind of works for me. Anyway, you click it and it goes back. And if you were logged in, it would let you see the app. So simple. I'm going to give this one of the best for 1 hour implementations. This took like an hour. Probably like to actually push it and test it like a little more, but in terms of generating the image and centering this and making the button styled and themed, I'm pretty happy with that. I would, the contrast is off just like everywhere on the app. Like the background's not dark enough and this isn't like light enough. So it is hard to read, and the text size and like the font itself, not my favorite. But hey, we didn't have this before. Before it was just a white page if you went anywhere. And if you went to login and I think you hard refreshed, it used to, because of the routing, it used to just be white the whole time. So this was fixed too. So that's like the general 404 UI perspective. We're going to dig into like how all this works now, like what it actually looks like. So I had from a technical standpoint, high level, this is what I'm doing, and this is what a lot of sites are doing. This is you on your computer going to that site. You request that page, and then somewhere, wherever that app or that website lives, there's a web server. And the job of that server is to serve you content, the index HTML, the CSS, the JavaScript. And it does that by going to, in my case, an app, and the app has that HTML, it has the CSS, it has an HTTP server, it has routing to decide like what part of the app to go to, figures all that out, and then it returns HTML and CSS and JavaScript to you, and then that turns into a website that your browser can render. So let's dig into, I'm going to dig into the app part first, like what that actually is happening, because this is split between front end and back end. And let's look at it. Let's see. So I'm going to take you from back end to front end and the ways it goes through the front end, and then I'm going to go back to the web server and show you how it routes that stuff. So this is the back end. It's an Express HTTP server, and we're just initializing it. We have our routes and some other middleware things, and then here we're serving it on port 3000, I believe. So nothing crazy there. Then we are going here. This is our front end now. This is our index HTML, which is like the root index for everything. And all it has is a head with loading fonts and my favicon in the CSS, and then this ID called root. And that is used by the root React component called app. So it's finding that root keyword. Let me blow this up a little. Okay, so then it renders app. So what is app? What's going on in there? This is where I was talking about the router, and right now I'll just focus on the router because this is universal for all these kinds of apps. And in router, we are connecting views or components or pages to a route, and a route just means like the location, like is it /login, /home, /admin. I just have 4 right here. And this is the one I added, this not found view. So the router is like, okay, we have a request for this route / whatever. If it's just the root route, which is /, it goes to the calendar. If it's a login or a logout, it goes to those. And if it's not any of those 3, it's not found. Like we don't know what to do with that, so we have a not found view. This is what I made yesterday. Simple. I love it. We have there's our text, and then we have our image, setting a width, some styling, and then if they click the button, we're just using this use navigate hook from React Router and sending them back to root. And then in root, this is where I handle in another component, like whether to check if they're logged in or not. I'll skip that for now. So that covers all of this stuff right here. Then I need to, if I just had this purple square and the website, it wouldn't know like how to return it to you or who you were or like where's your IP. Like I need something in the middle to orchestrate that, and that's what the web server does. And so Nginx is a popular one. It's simple to configure, pretty lightweight and good for smaller apps like mine. So to configure it, I just had to do a couple of things. I had to set up like an exception, or what they call a proxy pass, which means any request to /API we're going to handle on the back end, because that's where the API requests are all going, like API /events /users, whatever. But for basically everything else, all these other URIs or like routes, we're just going to serve index.html, which is that file we saw before. So that it's looking for that index.html in this root directory on the server. So I need to, when I assemble all my code after like building it, it looks something like this. These are the web files, CSS, the images, the index that we looked at. I zip all those up and I copy them to my server, and then I put those at Compass build web, and then the web server knows to look for that. And anytime anyone's asking for anything that's not API, it's just returning that HTML. And the browser has all these files here, including the HTML. And so from then on, the browser can handle it. Thanks to all the stuff in the purple there. So, hey man, we got a 404 page. This all happened because someone created an issue on the GitHub and said like, hey, you haven't set up redirect routes. And then I was like, I guess I haven't. And I tried a 404 page, and it was just a white screen. And anyway, I got prioritized and finally merged it. So all to say, I do look at these and get them done when I have a chance. So those are my ratings for the best 404 page. That was the 404 page I just made. What do you think? What 404 pages did I miss? Otherwise, thank you for watching.